Good morning or afternoon, 7th grade. I am here to show you a brief tutorial on how to do your intro and your conclusion paragraphs. Now, right now, you may have already completed your first body paragraph and your second body paragraph, and you are ready to get that really hot, spicy introduction that's gonna grab my attention, and then you might also be ready to wrap up everything in a nice, neat bow with the conclusion. So, thanks for watching, and here we go. There are 3 parts to an introduction paragraph. Do you remember what they are? Okay, well, here we go. The first part of an introduction paragraph is you have to hook the reader. And I always do that weird little fish hook thing because it actually helps your brain remember what it is. So there are ways in which you can hook your reader, and there are ways that we are no longer doing in 7th grade. So appropriate hooks can be a quote, a startling fact. So you might have a really neat fact about adolescence. You might have a really cool quote about being a teenager. And you can have a short anecdote. Remember, I can't spell, so I don't know if there's one N or 2, but I would Google it if I were writing this. So, you can have a quote about your topic, you can have a startling fact about your topic, or you can have a short story about your topic. The most important thing to remember is, folks, you need to grab our attention. Think about someone like me. I'm going to be reading 70 essays about adolescence. What's going to make your paper stand out? What's going to make me want to keep reading and not put it down? But more importantly, it's your job to really make sure your reader is interested in what you are writing about, and that's the hook. All right, moving on. What's the second part? Well, you're going to need some background information. This is a sentence or 2 where you're going to tell the reader about your topic. Now, realistically, most folks know about adolescence. But honestly, there might be some people who aren't sure. Is that 12? Is it 13? Is that young kids like 8 or 9? I don't even know what adolescence might be. Is it the person or is it the stage of life? So really it's important, and this topic is pretty well known, but you never know, to give the reader some background information about your topic. And I always tell students 1 to 2 sentences. So maybe you could define what adolescence is. Maybe you could give a few details to support adolescence. And also, it doesn't have to be just about adolescence, because we are also talking about the brain, and we're talking about dopamine, and we're talking about emotions and hyper-rational thinking. Okay, all of these ideas you could include in your background information. All right, I'm not really going to tell you exactly how you do it. What to do, but you do need to have background information. Last but not least, you already wrote this. It's your thesis. So the good news is actually your introduction paragraph is already a third of the way done because you have already written your thesis statement. So in your introduction, at the end of your introduction, just go ahead and plug in that thesis statement. The R and the A plus your 2 reasons. So let's review. First you have a hook, then you have some background information, and then you plug in that thesis statement. And it's all going to live in one solid paragraph. Don't forget to indent. So it'll probably look something like that. This is the indent right here. Okay, let's quickly review conclusion. And it's pretty simple. When you have a conclusion paragraph, there's really 2 main parts. The first part, this board is funky, I don't know why it does that, is to restate your thesis. So that simply means, sorry, y'all, I don't know why that writes weird. Restate your thesis. Now, restate does not mean repeat. It means put it in another way. And if you're not sure how to do that, I have some tips and tricks, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But your only goal with this sentence is to say the same thing as you did up here in your intro, but in a different way, a new way. a different tone or mood or vocabulary word just to make it different. All right, you get the idea. And literally, the last part, I like to do like a little heart, and I call it the insight. This is where you get to speak from your heart now. So you're not worrying about text. You're not worrying about evidence. You are literally coming from your heart. What do you want to say to your reader about everything you said up above? What is on your mind? What is that way that you're really going to leave the reader with some emotion or thought, or, you know, we sometimes call it a call to action, but like, what do you want your reader to do or think or remember, if nothing else, about your topic? And I can't tell you what that is because it needs to come from your heart. All right. Some students, or some teachers, I should say, they call this sentence the so what sentence. So what? You know, adolescents, okay, growth and development, they all go through emotions, so what? So if you're not sure about what's in your heart, you can always think about, why is what you said up here important? Why is it important? So what? Okay? So again, I can't tell you what that is because that, again, is going to come from you. But I have ideas, obviously, if you get stuck. All right, so let's review. There is the restatement of your thesis, which again is not repeat, just restate in a different way. So new words, new phrases. And then that insight. That is your conclusion paragraph. And it's going to look just like every other paragraph. You're going to start with an indent and then keep typing. Okay? So, without further ado, let's make sure we're on the right track. Your first paragraph is your what? Yeah, your introduction. Okay, what comes next? Body 1, which you wrote a couple days ago. Body 2, which you wrote yesterday. And then what comes last? Conclusion. Good job. So your conclusion paragraph. Yes, this is only 4 paragraphs, so you're welcome. All right, if you have any questions about the format of an essay, please let me know, but I am so excited to read your final product. Have a great day.